915. Red dot for Timothy. All right. Yeah, we're picking up. Poor cat, all covered in snow. Okay, this is Winchester 231 44 special. That one got me, the 915. Spread 20, standard D 8. Okay, this is the red dot. Uh-oh. No. Hello, this is Uncle Jim, and you're probably wondering what the hell was that? Well, that's just an old man doing some quickie load testing to figure something out. So, shooting 44 special, and my plan today was to find a load with easy to get powders that meters good and somehow fill the case enough where you get some volume. So I start off with Winchester 231, which I knew wouldn't give me any volume, but I had it in the thrower right here. Never loaded it in 44 special, probably will never load it in 44 Magnum, just doesn't fill the case. And then I thought, well, I could use some tight group. It's not sensitive in that way. And I remembered I had some red dot I got on sale for $12 at a pawn shop. They had a whole case of them. I should have bought more. And I thought, well, let's try red dot. It's kind of bulky. It's like, it's a shotgun powder type deal. Kind of like unique. You're going to have to weigh it. And so I tried red dot for the first time today. And I screwed up the chrono numbers. I hit the change, instead of change string, I hit delete string. But the red dot, actually, it was going 1,005 feet per second around. It was in the 1,000 feet per second range. I had 2 dupes. I only had one number out of that string that was threw everything off, so it was about a 12 standard D. And that's too bad because the other 4 were beautiful, and I bet it shoots good. So I had to sight in the scope. I took that off the pistol scope that's on the lever. I put a little shimming up front, so there was something weird about it. Got all that fixed, but had to sight in again, so I shot off hand just to get it so I don't blow up my chronograph. And then did some chrono numbers, 5 shots each with the same bullet. And I'll tell you why I came to the bullet in a minute, or we can cover it now. So I went in the bowels of my file cabinets looking for the ugliest powder-coated bullets that I made, and to get rid of them. And I found a bag of these, and boy, yeah. So, but the other good thing about that bullet is it's a case filler. And I'll show you that. We will load around. So I looked at all these other bullets, and I have a whole bunch of junky, get rid of type stuff. And I started comparing them, and from the crimp groove down, this bullet's really long, and it's got a gas check cut. And I had bought a 2-cavity a long time ago just to try this bullet here. This is what it looks like with the gas check. And for those that don't know, if you're shooting subsonic, it doesn't matter if it has a gas check or not on it. But once you go into full bore, hot stuff, you want the gas check on there. Just because for some reason it likes that little extra weight at the bottom. I don't know why, but I've found that to be the case, and I've shot both, all kinds of bullets, same deal. Anyway, this one is longer from the crimp groove down than the rest. Like here's a Keith here, that's where it's crimped, where this one's crimped way up here. So with Winchester 231 of 5.5 grains, I'm only to here. All right. And the bullet is here. This bullet. Other bullets are going to be up higher than this. So I'm trying to decrease the airspace. Let me show you a drawing. Now don't laugh. All right. It's a scribble job. You could have had this one, my first try. Oh! All right, so what I don't like to see, it's just me, but I don't like to see the powder below the center of the primer when it's sideways, because you can get erratic numbers, and that's why I had to chronograph this today and also check for unburnt powder in my suppressor. Happy to report I didn't have hardly any unburnt powder at all. It was just a little debris. So I shake that out. That's one test. The other test is the chronograph, if you're getting consistent numbers. Because if this powder's this way, oh yeah, you're good. But when it's shaking around in the gun or whatever, and it settles down and it's way below that primer line, that could be bad and give you weird numbers, and it could be a little dangerous. So there's my little drawing. I don't like to see that. Now, some loads, yeah, it's going to be that way. Tight group isn't going to be as picky that way. I just don't like to see it. Now, I was going to try tight group, but then I thought, let's try some red dot. It's a little bulkier, and it came up to here, a little bit. So then I thought, well, let's help this out with the bullet. And that's why I went with this one. This one had the most volume inside. I don't have a wad cutter in 44, because then I could have shoved her down to Chinatown. And I might do that in a 2-cavity, just for the heck of it, because I love it in 38s. And that way you decrease that space with the wad cutter. So I got the ugliest powder coat I could find. And let's load one up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but you get the idea. You got about that much space. The black line is where the 231 was. The red dot's above this red line, just a little bit. And what else? What else do I look for? Weird sounds. Squibs. But fortunately today the numbers, I would have one off number, one low reading, and the rest were good, so it wasn't that bad. When you get like crazy stuff, you either got a bad chrono or you got too much airspace. Again, see the drawing. All right. Oh, one more thing. This is the Big Daddy 310. It's got 2 crimp grooves, which I really like, especially in 44 Magnum. When you're trying to yak it through lever action, it likes to be at the top. Okay, the shortest possible crimp. However, this big bullet in this could be a little scary, and I might play with that, but I really don't. Know what I would do here? I would load it long on the bottom crimp groove, but that's a lot of weight, and obviously it's not in the books. But I do a lot of suppressive loads that aren't in the books anyway. But I thought I'd throw that in. This one keeps calling me, but it's kind of a waste of lead at the same time. This is, just under 240 grain. Actually, these are loaded hard or cast hard. They're hard, and I should have had softer, but I don't have any that I casted that are soft in this bullet. That's another factor that was out there. All right. Okay, so me and this bullet never got along in 44 mag, with or without a gas check. And I kind of gave up on it early on. But in this case, it might come in handy as a 44 special because it fills the case. And maybe I can get it to group, especially with softer lead. He's got some redemption, little buddy. You got some redemption. Maybe we'll play with you again. So I got the brass at the thrift store. I only have 100, and I had to clean them last night, but I only just did soap and water, just a quickie. And then I decided to try this case lube. I did a video on the Lee, trying that for the first time, and you put it on sparingly and it dried and nothing stuck to it. So this time I tried this, the RCBS Lube 2. Have a full old worn out bottle of it, and it is greasy. What a mess that was, especially when your brass isn't super clean. Black fingers, greasy. So no. Anyway, the reason I have to use lube, these are non-carbide, set from 1970, and they have a different procedure. This just sizes, that's all it does. The next one decaps and flares. This one seats and crimps. So I don't have an extra crimp die on this set. I just use it like this. If I'm fixed on one bullet, I'll seat and crimp at the same time with it. But for now, it's loose. And so what we'll do is set it up all over again. So I got an empty shell here, and I'll just bring it down till I touch the shell. Okay, and I'm going to back it off. I'm going to give it a full turn so no crimping is going on. Then we can put that one away. And now we'll seat and then we'll go back. So we'll give this bullet another chance sometime. It's got a good weight for the Rossi. The Rossi's a 1 in 30 twist. My Marlin over here is the JM Marlin is 1 in 38. So it doesn't like the Big Daddy Elite 310 anyway. But it might like this bullet if I give it a chance. So make sure that's tightened down. Okay, that's where the bullet is. Now I can use this little thingy to judge the difference. Kinda. Alright. Wait a minute, I thought I was on it. No, I wasn't. Okay, I didn't turn it down. Okay, we're on YouTube. And I'll keep an eye on it. How much distance we got left? About. Okay, and then we'll just sneak up on it here. And we're there. Okay, I can actually bring her down just a hair and lock her down. I want that full volume. All right. And then to crimp, we gotta back that stem out all over again. This is how you'd set it up for doing both anyway, kinda. Okay, and we're gonna bring her down till we feel it. Okay, we're not touching the stem. And I can see the letters on here. So I'm going to give it almost a half turn to start with. Right there. And it's, it's pretty fast. I dink around with so many bullets. It goes along pretty fast. Okay, there's a pretty good crimp on it right there. Okay, I can be a little more aggressive, but for this case, no, it's fine. All right, so that's the story on this bullet. I am going to give it a chance. We'll do videos later. Oh, I was talking about twists. The older JM Marlin also likes a wider diameter bullet. 432, 4325, 433. The Rossi doesn't seem to mind 430 or 431. In this case, these are 431. And the new Ruger Marlin, I just saw one on sale. It's still expensive. It's 9 something. It wasn't threaded. 44 mag, blue. And I saw the specs, and it's a 1 in 20 twist. So that is nice. So something to think about if you want to shoot heavier bullets like that Big Daddy 310. It might like that a lot. So give me one of those threaded, and yeah. Andy, I just saw your video when I was having a smoke, and yeah, I was looking for the height of the scope in the rear, but now I have the scope on. I put it back on. I was just curious how tall your mount is compared to the NOE. The NOE is tall, and the Skinner is the lowest I've seen. If you want a low mount so you don't have all that cheek weld issue. So there's that. What else didn't we cover? Well, I guess that's it. These actually weren't that sporadic, even though there's a lot of volume in there. I know tight group isn't sensitive that way, but that eats powder coat. And I just don't like seeing powder below the line. Okay? Or even close. I want that powder close to that primer line. I don't want ignition up front. That's just me. You guys can argue all you want. Bring it on. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I guess that's it. Until next time.